Hi all, welcome and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to share some horrendous stories with you that have been taking place that you may not have heard about and will probably wish you hadn't heard about after I finish sharing them with you. But they happened. They're awful, and they've left many victims and their loved ones needing our prayers. I'll start with a story that broke late on July 16th of 2023 out of Fayetteville, Georgia, where police say they received an emergency call about a kidnapping that occurred at a Wingstop on North Glen Street. According to police, the frantic 911 caller said that 20-year-old Cameron Hopkins had stormed into the restaurant and abducted his 19-year-old ex-girlfriend, Kalia Jones, at gunpoint, forcing her into his car. As police approached the restaurant, they spotted his vehicle leaving the area, and when he saw them, he fled. So police chased after him, beginning in Fayetteville County, and said the chase continued into Clayton County, where police were able to perform a pit maneuver and stop Hopkins' vehicle in the driveway of Lovejoy High School. Then, police said, Hopkins started shooting. Officers were able to take cover, but their demands that he surrender went ignored. Then they heard multiple gunshots inside the car. So they said they fired chemical irritants into his vehicle, which forced him out. He was taken into custody, but his hostage was found in the car, deceased from multiple gunshot wounds. Now, you're probably not going to believe what I'm about to tell you next, so you're welcome to check me. Exactly 1 year ago, on July 16th of 2022, Hopkins abducted Jones in the parking lot of her job at Walmart. Allegedly, Jones was sitting in a car in the Walmart parking lot when Hopkins approached the car, broke out a window with his gun, and dragged Jones out of the car. He forced her into a car driven by a man helping him, but she was able to escape and run to a nearby business for help. Hopkins and his accomplice were both arrested for the attempted kidnapping, but Hopkins was released from jail in September. He was released to go after her again. And he did, just months later, on July 16th of 2023. Now he doesn't have to worry about getting released to go after her again, because she's gone. This poor girl must have lived in absolute fear of this man for who knows how long. She was probably looking over her shoulder every day after the first time he tried to take her, and she probably knew it was only a matter of time before he'd try again.
Yes, the victim's mother tells me the last thing she told her daughter was that she loved her. That was hours before Kalia was kidnapped and shot to death. She tells me she actually moved her family away from Albany to get away from the man accused of killing her daughter.
Want everybody to know her name.
A mother holding on to the memory of her daughter closest to her heart.
She might have loved him. He might have loved her. But at the end of the day, my child is dead.
I think she's gone.
Kalia's mom tells me it was in that moment she received a phone call from Hopkins.
When Cameron called me, my daughter was already dead. And he kept saying, "Babe, wake up. Babe, wake up." And I said, "Cameron, you shot her?"
Right now, Hopkins faces new charges out of Clayton County, including murder, 2 counts of aggravated assault, and possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime. Bridget says her daughter's death could have been avoided if the justice system didn't fail her. Hopkins has a pending misdemeanor case out of Dougherty County, where he pled not guilty to a battery family violence charge. That charge stemmed from a May 2022 incident where police say Hopkins slapped Jones. Bridget tells me while she can't bring her daughter back, she will fight in her honor to save other domestic violence victims.
There needs to be some kind of accountability in place because it was my daughter, July 17th.
Now, back in 2021, Georgia's Family Violence Act was revised to include protection for victims who were impacted by abuse from dating relationships. Still, Bridget Jones tells me it wasn't enough to protect her daughter, which is why she'll continue fighting for change. Lena Allen, WAOB, your hometown news source.
My God. 19 years old and living in absolute fear. But, unfortunately, Jones wasn't the only 19-year-old woman to have her life cut short by her ex ambushing her in a parking lot, armed with a gun. In late June of 2023 in Pasadena, Texas, police say 20-year-old Juan Carlos Mata ambushed his 19-year-old ex-girlfriend, Leslie Reyes, in the parking lot of the apartment complex she lived in with her parents and shot and killed her. According to news reports, Leslie's parents heard gunshots outside, and when they ran out, they found their daughter on the ground in the parking lot. When police arrived on scene, Mata fled, which caused them to launch a manhunt to capture him. He evaded capture for 3 days. Then, he returned to the scene of the crime. Police said they received a tip that Mata was seen at the memorial site set up in the parking lot to honor Leslie's life. So they raced to the scene to capture him, but he was ready for them. When they arrived, he hid behind a vehicle and ended his life with a gun he brought with him. Her poor family. The excruciating pain of losing their beautiful daughter. The poor people who lived in that apartment complex, experiencing all that tragedy that had absolutely nothing to do with them. 2 deaths right outside their front doors. Leslie's family claimed that Mata was obsessed with her, and when she broke up with him, he ended her life. Obsession can be a terrifying thing. It can drive people to do terrible things and turn happy places into hellish nightmares. And I'm not too sure you can find a place that sounds much happier than the Tutti Frutti Bar ice cream shop in Soap Lake, Washington. Well, before July 11th of 2023, that is. Because that was the day that police say 51-year-old Samuel Montoya repeatedly slit his wife's throat out in front of the quaint little ice cream shop as onlookers watched in horror. According to police, the couple had been having marital problems, which led to Montoya attacking his wife and leaving her bleeding out on the sidewalk as he fled the scene. Horrified witnesses to the attack called 911 and tried to render aid to his wife while they waited for help to arrive. When police arrived on scene, they said she was able to tell them that her husband attacked her before she was rushed to the hospital for treatment. There don't seem to be any updates on her condition as of the time of this video. Police said Montoya eventually turned himself in, and he was charged with attempted first-degree murder. Witnesses told police that they heard him telling his wife that if he couldn't have her, nobody could have her, as he attacked her. I hope that story won't make you afraid to go enjoy some delicious ice cream at your favorite ice cream shop for fear of what you might witness there. I guess I should have thought twice about it before I shared it with you. But what's done is done. And all I can do now is assure you that you don't have to actually be at a happy place to witness something awful. You can just be, stopping for gas on your way there. Like the people who were unfortunate enough to need a fill-up during rush hour on June 28th, 2023, who stopped at their local speedway near Indianapolis, Indiana. Police said they received multiple 911 calls from witnesses who watched in horror as 32-year-old Joshua Farmer ambushed his ex-wife as she parked at a pump to get gas, shooting her 15 times as she sat in her vehicle. According to police, Farmer had a history of abusing his ex-wife Kayla and his children. One of their sons allegedly told police that Farmer hurt his mother often and even went as far as to make her sit in a chair across from her son while he held a gun to her head and told her to choose her son's life or her own. And even after their divorce, the threats didn't stop. Police said they were able to use the data on Farmer's phone to track his movements leading up to Kayla's murder, and they said it appeared as though he followed her from work to the gas station, where he pulled up behind her in a vehicle that didn't belong to him so he could ambush her. Kayla didn't have a chance. She was declared deceased on scene. The following day, Farmer was found hiding in some bushes and he was arrested and charged with Kayla's murder. She was a mother of 3, and her obituary read that her children were her entire life. She was probably theirs too, until she was taken away from them forever.
On the day of the shooting, court records say traffic cameras found Farmer had been stalking Kayla around town before her death. An autopsy found more than 15 gunshot wounds on Kayla's body. 25 bullet fragments in all were found. Police say state crime labs found that shell casings in the car Farmer had been driving match those found at the gas station. Farmer was arrested the day after the shooting. Court records say police saw a man hiding in some shrubs in downtown Indy. Police then able to take him into custody. Farmer appeared before a judge in Hamilton County this afternoon for an initial hearing, telling the judge he understands the charges against him and intends to hire an attorney. The county prosecutor's office telling the judge Farmer is not entitled to bond because of the severity of the charges he's facing. And Farmer is expected back in court on August 17th for a hearing. A jury trial has been scheduled for November 8th.
All right.
And last but not least, U.S. Marshals are searching for 26-year-old Terrell Williams from Warren, Ohio, who is wanted for brutally beating an 18-month-old baby. Yes, you heard me right. An 18-month-old baby. And the baby's mother. In July of 2023. Police say the attack came after the child's mother told Williams to leave her home, and it was caught on video surveillance inside the home where the attack took place. Williams fled after brutally assaulting them both, and U.S. Marshals are offering a reward for information leading to his capture. If you have any information about Williams' whereabouts, they're asking that you call 1-866-4-WANTED. I have no updates on the condition of the mother or her child as of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. I appreciate the time you spend with me on my channel. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you on my next video.